Hi, everybody. Thanks for coming today. It's Lucy. We are going to do hips and hamstrings today. So we're going to open them up. So hop over to your mat. I'm going to need some blocks and a strap today. If you don't have it, though, don't worry about it. Okay. So these are blocks, right? And we're going to work with the strap. Again, I'll show you. I always show you with props, without props. Just easier to have a prop. So if you have a tie, a sash, anything that's helpful would be great to stretch your legs and your hips. All right, so lie down, relax here on your mat, and take your arms out to the side. And if you need a pillow under your knees, that might be nice for your back or your bolster. So you can pop it under your knees. All right? And breathe in, exhale out through your mouth. Inhale through your nose, exhale, and allow the gravity to take over. Sink down, tuck your tailbone, just settle in here. So I'm going to lead you through a 3-part breath, and I want you to breathe in through your nose and exhale through your mouth. Okay? So we're going to start. The Viloma breath is that 3-part breath. We fill up that glass of water, and then we exhale, we empty everything out, okay? So let's start with inhaling again through the nose and exhale everything out, all the tension, all the stress, all that stuff out. Your belly goes down, 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 down. And then you take a breath in from the base of the spine to the navel. So you start feeling a little bit at a time, the water, right? Navel to breastbone, little higher, collarbone or higher. Last sip of air, and then exhale all of it out. Empty your lungs. Good. And then go to your diaphragmatic breath. Inhale through your nose here. Inhale, exhale. Right, through your nasal passage. So the next one we're going to do the 3-part. We're going to do a little bit of a pause. So it's a little bit of a retention of breath. So normally we're just kind of moving through. But today I'm going to push you a little bit and have you try the retention of breath. If for some reason that retention of breath bothers you, then just, don't do it, So we're going to go to your next exhale, and we're going to empty that glass of water. So exhale all the air out, and then take a breath in from the base of the spine to the navel. And I want you to retain your breath for a moment here. And then go a little higher, take a little more air into your breastbone. And then collarbone. And last sip in, you're pausing a little. Exhale. All of it out, completely let all that air out. So your belly goes down, 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 down. And then let your inhale come naturally in the diaphragmatic, in and out through your nose, without pause, without sound. Take a few breaths like this, at least, just breathe here. The way the babies breathe, diaphragmatic. All right, let's do one more Viloma breath with some of that retention, okay? So we're going to exhale everything out. We're going to empty that glass of water. Exhale, 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 empty it out. And then take a breath in from the base of the spine to the navel, your first room. Let's retain it. Navel to breastbone, second room. Little retention here, pause. Collarbone or higher, pause. Last sip in, and then exhale all of it out. Exhale all of it, all of it, all of it out to the base of the spine. So you're emptying that glass of water. And then go right back to your natural breathing. And then relax your toes and your feet. Soften through your legs and your hips and your torso. Soften through the shoulders, the arms, the hands, the fingers and fingertips. Looking right, looking left, moving your head side to side. Make that movement a little smaller and smaller, bringing your head back to center. Softening the back of the neck, the eyes, the forehead, right to the top of your head. And when you're ready, wiggle your fingers and toes and come back. So we're going to work with hips and hamstrings, right? As I mentioned. So let's start by bringing the knees into your chest. You're going to squeeze your legs in. I'll demonstrate. Okay, so you're going to bring those legs in like this. Give yourself a good squeeze. You can hold on behind the knees as you would and rock side to side. So what I like this for is my back. I just rock over my back. Feels nice and soothing. And then I'm going to make circles on the ceiling with the knees. I'm rolling around. I'm circling around here on the ceiling. I'm going to roll around in the other direction. And just soothing the back. And then I'm going to bring the knees in. I'm going to lift my head and shoulders. Maybe I want to create a ball. So I'm stretching my upper back and my neck. I bring my head back down. I'm going to hold the right knee towards the underarm. And now I'm working with those hip flexors, left leg out. I'm going to bring that left knee in towards the underarm, right leg out. And you're going to move side to side here. One knee in, then the other knee. Now, next time you bring that right knee in, relax your left leg. You can bring it down. I want you to hold the knee or the behind the knee or, anywhere like this. I'm going to roll around. You're going to juice up that right hip joint. So I'm just rolling around and making figure eights, juicing up that hip joint. So it's a ball and socket joint. It moves in various directions that we're going to be doing today. Let's roll around, roll in the other direction, just juice up that hip. You can make small circles, large circles, whatever feels good. And then let your knee fall over to the right. Hold that knee out to the right. You can just kind of, relax the lower leg bone here. I'm holding my right leg. My elbow here is on the floor. And I'm holding that hip open. I'm keeping this left pelvis down, square the ceiling. You could bend this knee too if you want to. I'm going to lift this right foot in half hip, happy baby. I'm going to pull down on the ankle. Maybe you can reach the outside of the foot and do a half happy baby. And that's another hip stretch, right? It's a very good hip stretch, the happy baby. And this one happens to be half. Again, you can bend this knee if that feels more comfortable. And then bringing that leg back and relax that leg. Bending that left knee, bring it out to the side, to your hip, right? So you're working with this hip flexor on the left. I'm holding it out to the side here. And then maybe I start like juicing up this left hip. So I'm moving around and around here. I'm circling that hip, right? Or I might make these figure eights, like kind of just working and juicing up this hip, moving both directions. And then hold that knee all the way out to the side, to the left, and breathe here. And so we're in sort of a hip opening on this left side. And I'm trying to keep this right pelvis down. So you can bend this knee if this is hard for you, okay? If it's too much, hold that leg out. I'm going to lift this left foot, right? Left leg. You might be able to reach for the calf, the ankle, or maybe even the outside of that left foot and pull down on that foot. Again, bend this knee if that feels like you're squaring better. You know, if you're leaning like this, you're going to have to bend this knee for sure. All right, pressing down, hold the posture. And then straighten out that left leg. Maybe shake out these legs. Maybe move the feet side to side here. So it's kind of like you're windshield wiping your feet. I'm just swaying the feet. Helps release the hips a little bit. Bring both knees into your chest again. Happy baby. If you're uncomfortable, don't do happy baby, but you lift your feet in the air, you bend your knees to the side, you grasp the outside of the feet, pull down on those feet, and tuck your chin. And this is happy baby here. Feet are apart. It's just like I'm walking on the ceiling here. I have my feet up. It's a great hip stretch. You can even rock over your spine a little bit side to side as you pull down on the feet. Now bring your feet together. Bring your legs up. You can hold on to your legs and open your legs in a reclining hip stretch. So it's a little different. Some of you might be able to reach for your feet or your big toe mound, looping your big toe in this hip stretch. All right, some of you may still be in happy baby. You know, you might be like this. That's fine. Okay, bring your legs back. Bring the soles of your feet together. I want you to bring your feet down to the mat and open your hips in a bound angle. So you're pressing those thighs away from you and pressing your knees toward the floor gently. Okay, so you just keep pressing, tensing, and releasing, and doing that again. Opening the hips. And then bringing those knees up, take your time, right? Everything's going to contract. Take your feet as wide as your mat. If you're able to reach the front of the ankle, sometimes people like to do that. It's more stretching the quad. But if not, just bring your hands by your side, drop the right knee towards left big toe, left knee towards right big toe, inside twist. All right, just dropping it down and then going to the other side. And then drop both knees to the right. So drop them both over to the right. You might feel that in the outer hip on the left. And then drop both knees to the left. Feel that outer hip getting that stretch. And continue moving both knees to one side now. And both knees to the other side. Good for pelvic circulation as well. These variations in inside twist. Your feet are as wide as your mat. Don't forget that piece, everyone. Keep your little toes to the outer edges of the mat. Moving the legs side to side here. And I try to bring that, for instance, left knee down as much as I can and feeling that stretch in that outer hip, left hip when I go to the right like this. And then when I drop my knees to the left, I really try to bring that down and I feel more pull along the right side. And that's a stretch in that muscle group there. Try that one more time on each side, dropping both knees to the right and really pressing down through left knee. And then bring it up, really pressing down through right knee. So you feel that pull along the right side. And then coming back up, bringing those knees into your chest. Lift your head and shoulders. Okay? Form a ball. Stretch your upper back again. Bring your head back down. Bring your feet down to rest for a moment. Take a breath in. Exhale through your mouth. And I want you to grab your strap, okay? If you did bring one to class today, okay? So I'm going to use my strap around the ball of the right foot. We'll start with that foot. So when you're lifting this foot like this, you're going to hold on to the strap with your right hand, and I'm pulling down on that strap. I want to press the heel upward like that. I'm pressing that heel up and holding that steady. Breathe into the back of this right leg. So this is hip and hamstrings. You'll feel it behind here, and then you'll be feeling it in the hip. You can bend this left knee or straighten it. That's up to you. Now hold the strap with both hands and bring your arms back, bringing that leg in towards you a little more. Sometimes I like to take the strap right around my head, the back of my head, and I lift my head and shoulders. But otherwise, you can stay down and stretch the hamstring fibers, upper hamstring fibers that connect into the buttocks. Hold that. Now, if you haven't straightened your leg already, straighten your left leg. Place the strap on the back of the left side of the neck. Bring your right arm out to the side, holding the strap. Now, this is a way for leverage. If you don't have a strap, it's too much. Remember, you're holding your leg if you don't have a strap. You're holding maybe your pants, your pant leg if you don't have a strap. So you're not gonna be able to do this. You can, if it's just too confusing, you can just bring it over, just holding the strap like this and bring the leg over. So for all purposes, we are going to bring this leg over to the left. And you have to find how to do that without props or with a shorter strap. You can just bring it over. It's not, So here I'm feeling this in the outer hip. I don't want to bring my right foot all the way to the floor. I still am feeling it through the hamstrings, through the outer hip now, as I bring this over across the other hip, really. So we're internally rotating the hip. You can bring that foot a little bit lower. If I scoot over off my mat a little bit, I have a little more room. I can bring that over a little more and hold and look to the right. Bring your leg back up. And then we're going to bring the leg out to the right. And you can take the strap, if you want to do this for leverage, around the back of the right side of the neck. Left hand is out to the side holding the strap, or just bring it over. Just hold the strap and bring it over to the right, or hold your leg or your pant leg, and bring that out to the side and look to the left and hold that, keeping left heel grounded. Now we're externally rotating the hip, and I'm trying to keep my pelvis very stable, just like those pelvic stabilizations that we did last time. So you're holding your back down and you're keeping things very stable here. And bring your leg back. Undo the leg, right? Just let that leg hang out next to the other leg. Feel the difference. And then let's take the strap around the ball of the left foot, and we're going to reach up with the left hand. Pull down on that strap. You want to feel those hamstrings working. If you need to bend this right knee, go ahead and put that again on the ball of the foot. So when I pull down, a nice firm grip here, and my heel goes up, I really feel that behind here. And in the calf too, you might feel it. Hold that and breathe here. Hold the strap with both hands. Bring your arms back. Stretch those upper hamstring fibers here. You can straighten this knee, but extend through right heel. You can lift your head. I just rest my head on my hands, or just bring your arms behind you and hold that and breathe. All right, we're going to take the strap around the back of the right side of the neck, holding the strap with the left hand to the side, or just take the strap over, bring the leg over, or hold the leg. Remember, if you don't have anything with you in your room there, just hold the leg, bring it over. So here I feel the outer hip, and I also feel, yep, I'm internally rotating the hip. I'm bringing the left hip over towards the right hip. I'm coming inward. I'm adducting, bringing it together. Bringing that leg back, switch the strap to the other side of the neck, bring the leg out to the side, or just bring the leg out to the side, to the left. Hold that strap if you have it, pull up on the strap, look to the right. If you've got that behind the neck, you can hold the strap with your right hand, look towards the right. And bring that leg back, relax that leg. Take a resting breath here too. All right, bend your knees, roll to your side here. Come up into table posture, right? And we're going to do some cat-cow. Tuck the chin, round the spine. Inhale, coming back up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. So I'm going to have you do a cat balance. And what you're going to do is you're going to, again, tilt that pelvis, pelvic tilt here, or tuck that tailbone. And I'm going to root down through my right shin and lift my left leg. All right. And I'm going to tuck, or bring that shoulder, bring the belly in, right? Stabilize, reach a little variation, reach forward with the right arm, lift the right arm as high as you can, and move forward so you're firmly planted into that left hand and right shin. Hold that posture. If it's bothering your wrist, make a fist, okay? Just make a fist, or fingers wide. So pull it in, hold this, right? Your hips are, working here because you got your hips square to the floor here. Turn that hip, internally rotate. So left hip comes in towards right, and hold that. I feel steady and calm. 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 And then bring your right hand down, bend your left knee, and a little cat-cow here. And then come into table position. We're going to stretch out that right leg. I'm gazing downward here. I'm kind of starting to round this back a little bit. I'm going to lift that right leg and internally rotate the hip. So I'm bringing that right hip towards left inner thigh. The two inner thighs roll in towards each other. I'm gazing down, right? I'm going to lift my left arm, try to bring it above my ear, right? Engage here, press out. You can press out through your back right heel. I feel steady and calm. 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 Bringing left hand down, right knee down, cat-cow, just to reset here. Coming back into table. I think we have to do one more, okay? Stretch out your right leg. Well, let's stretch out the left leg. Left leg. All right. I'm going to lift my right arm and bring it up above my ear. I'm going to tuck down, look down at a point, kind of engaging and bringing left hip inward towards right hip. All right. So I'm squaring my pelvis to the floor. I feel steady and calm. 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 One more breath here. And bring your hand down. Left knee down, cat-cow. And then right leg out. So instead of having your hip out like this, you want to turn it down, right? Toes are down on the floor here. All right, I'm going to lean forward a little bit. I'm going to kind of arch a little, rounding a little bit of the low back, bringing left arm up above my ear if I can, looking down. I feel steady and calm. 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 Coming back down, cat-cow, rounding. And inhale, coming up. Let's move dynamic. Exhale, going back into your heels. Drop your elbow, child into cow. Exhale, cat, child into cow. Exhale, cat, child. Drop the elbows into cow. Next time you go back, go all the way back to child. Separate your knees, open those hips, sink forward, make a couple of fists if you need it under your forehead, or bring your forehead to the floor. Take an exhale here. I rest in my capacity to trust and endure. I rest in my capacity to trust and endure. I rest in my capacity to trust and endure. I rest in my capacity to trust and endure. Moving yourself up here and grabbing your blocks, putting them to the squaring off of the mat. So I am bringing my blocks. Now, if you do not have blocks, same with the strap. You didn't have a strap, you hold your leg or something. Here with the blocks, we're going to not use them. If you don't have them, just don't use them. Or if you have a book, a couple of books for underneath your hands, grab those, okay? So we're going to come into what's called lizard. We're going to bring the right foot up, okay? And this is a great hip opener before we stand up. So I have my right foot next to my block or my right hand. I have my left foot, you know, right next to my foot too, the surrounding the foot, okay? I put my hands on the blocks. Okay, so we're going to bring that. This is a low lunge, so we're going to tuck the toes under, make sure your knee is back enough and that your pelvis is square to the floor and your knee is over the ankle, right? Make sure you take a peek. My knee's over my ankle. And then take the block that's in your right hand, put it next to the block that's under your left hand, or bring the two hands together and you want them under your shoulders. So now we're internally rotating here. We're inside the right foot. Okay, I'm going to wiggle that right foot off the mat and turn my toes out. And I'm going to move my hands underneath my shoulders. And here, the blocks will really help you. And you can put the blocks in any height if you have blocks. Okay, so you can hold it like this. If you don't have any props, you can hold it like this. Okay. And those that have, want to come lower, they've done this before with me too, you can come to your elbows and come down, right? So here I am, I'm feeling that inside of that right hip. I can feel that right inside my hip on the right side, getting quite a pull there, quite a compression. I feel compression there. I feel tension in the left quad though. So notice where you're feeling that compression and that tension, gentle tension. All right, so you can come down. These postures will open and release the deep muscles of the hip, especially some standing stuff will do. Okay, Hold that, breathe here. Take some time in this posture and breathe. One more breath. Coming back up to your hands if you're not already there. Wiggle that foot in here. See how I'm kind of coming out of it a little bit. Maybe I stretch my right hamstring a little. I come out like this. Also, there's animal stretch. Stretch your foot back, your leg back here. All right, maybe a cat-cow, whatever feels good. And then step left foot up, okay? So I'm gonna tuck my back toes, sink that right knee back, untuck my toes. I got a big lunge here going on. So it's low lunge, and you can take your blocks or you can just put your hand here, right? And surround your hands in this low lunge. You might be on your fingertips, right? And you're lifting up. So I don't know, you know, whatever's comfortable, whatever you have there for to help you, right? I'll just show you without blocks too, so you can, because everyone knows you can put the blocks under your hands if you have them. So you can move the block over towards into inside the leg too. You're gonna be inside this left foot. So if not, you just put your hands there and put them under your shoulders, like move around a little bit, put those hands under your shoulders. Wiggle left foot out, turn the toes off your mats. You're opening up this hip here on the left now, okay? Sometimes I like to get that left knee out a little bit. Maybe I lift the big toe mound, you know, but that's a little deeper, so do what you can here. So you can stay like this in this low lunge, lizard posture, or you can come down to your elbows, all right? Everyone knows their sweet edge, right? Or find your sweet edge. If you're not sure, you will find it. So just, you know, back off if it's too deep, right? Just back off and breathe here. And then come up to your hands here and hold this a little longer. And then we're going to come up. We're going to stretch back, wiggle that foot in more. And maybe you want to stretch your hamstring fibers. So I kind of lift my toes up, walk my hands back and stretch that. And then I come forward and I take that left leg back and out. All right, knees wide. Let's go to child pose. So your toes touch, your knees are as wide as your mat, and you're coming forward and lengthening here. And then inhale, come back up. We're going to try that one more time, okay? So the second time's easier. You're going to come up with your right foot, all right? Again, if you're using the props, put them under your hands here, the blocks, all right? So your blocks under your hands. If you're not, use your fingertips or something, okay? Then you're going to put both blocks together inside the right foot or your hands inside the right foot. I'm wiggling my right foot out. I'm going to turn it off the mat like that. So the toes turn off. Get these hands under you or on your blocks. Hold that. So just this posture with your arms like this, you're going to feel it in that compression in the right hip probably, and a tension in the left thigh. Okay, so just be aware of it. Breathe into it. If you feel like you have a little more going towards sweet edge, drop your elbows down. And then come up. Take another few breaths here, like this. And then wiggle your foot in. Take your right hand to the outside of your right foot. Maybe walk back and just sort of stretch your hamstring fiber like this. Sometimes you need a little reset. And then reset by pressing the heel back. Animal stretch. All right, let's take one last side here, left foot up. You're in this, I always like to get that right knee back so I get some nice tension, gentle tension through the right quad. All right, I'm gonna bring my hands inside that foot or the blocks inside the foot. Get those blocks under your shoulder. I'm turning the toe off the mat, the heel on the mat, toes are off. And I'm staying right here, bringing those shoulders, those hands under the shoulders. And then maybe I'll come deeper, right? Because lowering down is a deeper stretch, but it might not be for you, right? So maybe you'll come up on your hands and that's fine, okay? So breathe here. Couple more breaths here, holding that. And then you're going to come up and you're going to straighten this leg. Maybe take the hand to the other side and stretch the hamstring. Take that leg back, stretch it back. And then take it to downward dog. But I want you to widen your feet as wide as your mat when you lift up to downward dog. Walk it out, walk your legs out. So this opens up your hips and opens up your back. My little toes are on the edges of my mat. Nice and wide dog here. Stretch back, hold that. If you're having trouble with coming up in dog, just stay down in a puppy pose. So modify these postures. Everybody come back down to child. Everybody meet in child pose. Make a couple of fists, stack your fist under your forehead. If your hips are in the air like that, or sit back into your heels and draw the arms out in front of you, rest your forehead down. We're going to come up onto our knees. We're going to gently use our hands to help us come up to mountain posture. So you're going to come all the way up. Put your hands on your hips here. Roll those shoulders back, okay? So there's a posture called the hip glide. You take your feet kind of wide, right? Toes facing straight ahead here. And you're going to glide the hip to the right, and you're going to glide the hip to the left. So this is the hip glide. So side to side here. And you know, if you have a wall, you can always hold a wall. If you feel like you're a little unstable, you know, just keep holding the wall and gliding into the wall and away from the wall. And then walk your feet in just a little closer. So the idea is you come closer and closer to the feet. The feet come in a little bit more at a time. So again, if you have a wall, you can put your hand on the wall and do your hip glide. Gliding, and you're staying in one plane here, one plane. Right, I'm staying inside that plane as I move hips side to side. Now, I'm going to bring those feet in even closer and glide the hips, right? So it changes it a little bit. I'm gliding side to side here, one side, pushing the hip out, and the other. It takes a little more balance too, even, you know. There you go, okay? One more time on each side. So I'm going to go left, but I'm going to go right again, and then left again. And then back to center, take a rest and breathe here. Hands on the hips, bend forward. You're going to make some hip circles. So now I'm just kind of coming forward and circling around and around here, making my hip circles. Now go in the other direction. You're circling around that other direction, getting some action in those hips, right? Just circling around and around. Don't worry, you can't do these wrong. You know, you're just circling, just getting movement in this hip joint, the ball and socket joint, right? And coming back, roll those shoulders, bring them back and down. Come in a little closer if you can. Turn your toes in, your feet, your toes face straight ahead. I face life's challenges with an open heart. I face life's challenges with an open heart. I face life's challenges with an open heart. Turn your feet outward. So here's a little posture that is a great way to open up the deep muscles in the hips. Now, the thing with this, if you have anything around you, of course, if you have a block, then that's terrific. But if you have anything to help you get down, you'll be able to open the hips more. So it could be, again, the edge of a book, you know, anything. You have a vase, I don't know, anything you can grab onto. So I touch my heels here. I can obviously going to have to bend my knees a little bit as I come down. Some of you might be like, you know, more like this bent. Some of you may be straighter in the legs, but I'm turning my toes outward like that, heels sort of together. And again, you may be a little different shape, you know, than I am, but this will open up you up a little bit. So I'm like here, like that on my block, and I'm going to walk my block all the way to the right as far as I can and hold that like this, kind of like duck feet, right? I'm holding that, and the prop will help stabilize you. Take a few breaths here. I'm going to come to the front, right? Relax. If you have more, you know, room there, you can come down lower on your block. Breathe here. I'm going to walk this block all the way to the left. You could be on the high side of the block or the book. And I'm stretching a little more here. Releasing those deep muscles in the hip. I'm going to come to center. I'm going to bring my feet in again, like mountain feet. Okay. And then I'm going to bend forward. I'm going to see if I have any more flexibility here in the hip, because the hips that hold us back. So you can put your hands on your blocks. Maybe your hands are down near your feet. Relax your head. And I want you to come up and roll yourself up or walk yourself up your thighs. Take mountain. Notice if you felt any difference when you did that. Let's try it one more time. You bend from hips, bend from your hip joint. You can soften your knees, but I want you to just come straight down now and see if you're a little bit lower than you normally would be. All right, but actually memorize where you are right now as far as standing forward fold. I mean, you might be up here, but you still might be a little lower than you were, okay? All right, so memorize where you are. Inhale, coming back up again. I have another one for you, okay? So, all right, so this one, see if I can stand this way. I'm going to take my right foot in front of my left foot. So I'm making like a T, okay, like that. You know, see if I can show you this way too. So I'm making like a T position. So my left foot's behind there. Or when I do the other side, it's going to be like this, like a T position. Now, I'm going to have to grab that block though. So grab the block first so you have it with you maybe. All right, so I got that T position going on here. And now here again, I'm going to bend from the hinge. Be mindful because this is, you know, you have to have a little balance for this too. So if you need your bottom on the wall, here's a way you can do it. I got a wall here. Right? I put my foot there. I use my wall to come down. Okay. So I'm going to come down. I'm going to use the block. So you can hold on here. Right? You can release your head if you want, or keep your head up if you're feeling dizzy at all. And walk your block to the right. The same idea. It's just a different stretch here. Walk your block to your right side, hold that. And I like to go as far as I can to the sides. Keep rooting through the heels of the feet. That will help you stabilize. So just drive it through the heels of the feet. Coming into center, all the way to the left. Coming into center. Now carefully come up, carefully, and then release that. All right, we're going to go to the left foot in front. Before we test it, let's do the other side. So see how I cross and I have that T position here. Okay. I'm going to come down, and if you need to, you definitely want to bend your knees. By the way, don't be so tight in this that you can't bend your knees. You want to be able to bend. Okay. So I'm going to bend my knees. I'm going to come forward. Right, I straighten them up a little bit once I'm down there because I want to stretch the legs too. All right, I'm going to go all the way to the left. I got this block, it's helping me balance. You might feel that in that outer hip too. Hold that. I'm coming to center. I'm going to go all the way to the right. Stay right with this best you can. Coming back to center, unwind your legs, right? Come on back up. Now with your feet under your hips, yeah, we're going to test us. So let's test ourselves. So you bend from your hinge. I'm slightly bending these knees, you know, but I do want to try and straighten them. See how low you are now, okay? See how low you can get. You might still need your block, but you still might find that you're lower than you were. I want you to notice that. And relax your head. Nod your head yes and no. And just notice that. Right? Did you release those deep muscles of the hips? I hope so. And then come up and take a break, a little breathing break here. Exhale nice and long. Breathe in and breathe out. All right. We're going to move these blocks and everything off the mat. We're going to use this hip flexibility now for what's called the angle posture, sometimes called also humble warrior. Okay. So we're going to stand to the top of your mat, short edge of your mat. Okay. We're going to take this left foot back, hands on the hips. So this one is a lot about hip flexibility, right? If you have, you just did a whole bunch of stuff for your hips. So if we move these hips forward, you want to have your hips facing the short end of the mat. So sometimes people have to move their foot further out to the left in order to get these hips more flexible. You might find today you've opened up a lot, that you're pretty good facing that short end of the mat, right? So I'm going to find my position here. Okay. And you can just hold on to your elbows, even your wrists is fine, shoulders back. Okay. Whatever you want here. And this is what we do. It's a straight leg. You can soften your knee, but it's not a bent knee posture. Okay. So both legs are straight, and as I'm anchoring down that outer back heel, I'm going to take an exhale back. I'm going to lead with my heart. All right, I'm going to come down and flat back. I'm exhaling, and I'm going to come back up, inhaling, and exhale back. So if you need to vary this a little bit, you're moving forward and back very gently. So once I'm parallel, I just look down, and you could even release your head. For those that can, release your head towards your knee, and then using your leg strength coming back up. So it's, you know, you're activating your hip joint here too. So those that are having any troubles, and if you have some props that you have now, you know, come down to your blocks, you know, and then do the, you know, something like this, and then come back up and come back. So the blocks are helpful. If you feel a little imbalanced, you know, you can always grab your blocks here and then come back up. All right. So others that have been doing this for a while, as you come forward in that flat back position, I'm pushing into outer back heel. I see my foot there. I release my neck towards my right knee. And then I push into back heel. I'm using the leg strength. I'm driving it through even my right heel here. I'm pushing it down. I'm pushing all 4 points of my back foot, right, as I come up. And that goes for everybody. Moving forward and back here, your humble warrior, bowing down towards your knee, or using your hands on the blocks and then coming back up. Just a couple more. So this one I really like. It's like meditation in motion. You're just moving forward and back. And, you know, if your practice is just a little forward bend, that's fine. You're moving. You're coming to class. That's all that matters. You're doing it. All right. We're all doing the best we can here. Moving forward and back. And your humble warrior. Exhale is down. Inhale as you come up. Getting larger. And then exhale as you go forward. All right. Next time you all come up, we'll all meet. We'll go back and then we'll meet here, just standing with our legs in angle position here. Okay. All right. Bend your right knee, step your left foot up, find mountain posture here, and then step your right foot back. So again, find that a way to get these hip bones to face square to the short end of your mat. It might mean you bring that right foot out further towards the long end of your mat to help give you more flexibility here. Okay. So this is more of a, by the way, this one here is an internal rotation of the hip because this right hip is coming in toward the left hip. It's an adduction, right? So bringing your hands back behind you, wrist, elbows, whatever, you know, hands on the hips is fine. Okay. So we're going to exhale back. And remember, you lead with the heart. I lead with my heart. I lead with my heart. I lead with my heart. Drawing the head down. Inhale, use your feet. Exhale back. Lead with the heart. I lead with my heart. I lead with my heart. I lead with my heart. So just make this a nice smooth movement forward and back. Meditation in motion, you know, we're just exhaling down, inhaling up. It's a nice movement for the hip, forward and back. Forward and back. Couple more of these on this side would be really, really good. Leading with the heart. And then everybody meet here, just with the legs in angle posture. Bend that left knee and step that right foot up and rest here. Bend from your hinge coming down. So I'll turn and face you. So I'm going to put these blocks to the outside of my feet and coming down. Okay. So I'm going to come to the edge, but I want everybody on their short end of their mat. And if you don't have blocks, you know, you can use your hands here, right? And then you're going to step your right foot back, step your left foot back, into down dog and then child, okay? So just come into child for a moment. If those blocks were a pain in the neck for that, just put them aside and come to child for a moment and breathe. So you're in child position. So here's another one. We're going to extend the arms out in front of us, last one, and we're going to come to downward dog, right? Or puppy pose, knees down, and walking your dog. Now, what I want you to do is keep walking in towards your hands. You're walking in, walking in, walking in, and then you're rolling back up. Inhale, raise the arms, exhale, coming down, bend your knees generously. Don't worry about your blocks here. You're going to walk back, walk back, walk back into down dog. Now let's get those feet nice and wide, stretching back, dropping your chin. Nice wide-legged dog here. Drop the knees again, rest in child pose. And actually you can bring your arms behind you and make a little child pose here. If you don't like that, do one that you like. Make your fists, right? Knees apart. Cross your arms, use blocks under your head. Anything like that would be very helpful. Take an exhale, release. Let's turn around. Hug your knees back into your chest. We're cooling down now to go into relaxation, but I want you to bring your knees in again. Lift your head and shoulders. Bring your head down, maybe another happy baby, knees bend toward the side. Maybe now you can really reach for your feet. Maybe you have more flexibility in the hips, or maybe you're up at your ankles instead of down here. You know, you want to see those improvements. It helps us come back to yoga every time, right? Rock a little over your spine here. Let's take those knees in and bring your feet to the mat. Let's do a twist. Let's take that right thigh over the left thigh. Press into your left foot, shift your hips to the right, bring your knee over to the left. Look toward the right hand if you want. Exhale, release. If you need support under these knees, go ahead and get support, right? It's your body, you know. Notice what's going to feel comfortable for you in these postures. Coming back up to center. Let's left leg over right. Shift your hips left. Draw the knees over to the right side now. And breathe here. Coming back up to center. I'd say one more knee to chest just to kind of reset your back. And then stretch your legs out. And get your legs out to the side, arms out, palms up in that receiving position. Thank yourself for coming today. Breathe into your hips, feeling warmth and energy at the hips. Hips and hamstrings, right? We're moving those legs. We stretch those legs and we stretch those hips. So I'm going to lead you through a relaxation. And I want you to go to that beautiful place, that place of safety and tranquility. It can be in a meadow. It can be on top of a mountain. It can be a place you've been or seen, or a place you've never been, like another planet, right? So this is a place you can go anytime just by closing your eyes. So just be sure this place is safe, secure, it feels tranquil and serene. Spend a few moments here relaxing, getting oriented. Notice things like visual details, sounds, notice fragrances, notice any particular feelings or impressions you get about it. Now imagine that within this oasis, you're standing on a path that stretches off into the distance. And you start to walk up the path. And as you do so, you see in the distance a form coming towards you, radiating a clear, bright light. As you approach each other, you begin to see whether the form is a man or a woman, how they look, how they're dressed, and how old they are. The closer they get, the more details you can see of their face and appearance. Greet this being, ask him or her what their name is, and just take whatever name comes to you first. Show this person around your oasis, explore it together. This person may point out some things that you have never seen before, or you may just enjoy being in each other's presence. Ask this person if there's anything he or she would like to say to you, any advice to give you at the moment. If you wish, you can ask specific questions. You may get the immediate answers, but if not, don't be discouraged. Answers do come in some form later. When the experience of being together feels complete for now, thank this person, expressing your appreciation, asking him or her to come meet you in your oasis again. Deepening your breath, move your fingers and toes and come back slowly. And as you're ready, roll to your side and press yourself up. Or you might want to stay here, and that's fine too. If you're sitting up with me, just bring your hands to your heart. And may we be protected together. May we be nourished together. May we create strength among one another. May our study be filled with brilliance and light. And may there be no enmity between us. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, and peace. Rubbing your hands together and warming up your palms. If you feel safe enough in your room there, you can cup them over your eyes and just open your fingers, open your eyes, and let the light in slowly. Hands to your heart. Namaste, everyone. Have a wonderful day, and thank you for coming today. And see you soon. Okay, thanks.